I was the first blood of this game. Swear I didn't mean for that positioning. I just went and misclicked. Suddenly I'm getting picked. They're hooking me into the fog. Purge was the first face that I saw. Think rot was on before I saw tide. I don't know where I am, I was right next to him, but I thought that Purge would be bought. And so I thought I'd let you know these things can still happen, and especially with slows. But I realized I'm out of position. All I wanted was that top room, bro.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Defense of the Patience. We're a Dota 2 podcast, and oh boy, Roland, oh boy, have I played some Dota. The things we have to talk about, sir.
I'm sure of it.
You've been like non-Dota existent the last 2 days, it feels like.
Well, we've gone through... This is such a shitty setup, honestly.
Yeah, because you can't look at me.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna hold the mic. I'm gonna let the mic rest on my lap, guys. Right. I'm straddling the fucking I guess
I could have moved the chair over there,
it's okay.
But then you're in the way of the door.
I'm just gonna fucking hold it.
We need a new setup.
This is... Okay, so we're changing things around. We're getting more mobile.
This is a new setup, and this is the worst arrangement we've ever had.
This is the worst arrangement we've ever had. I started the show, and Denny was... He mentioned to me, "Are you going to have your back turned to me the whole time we're doing this show?" And I was like, "No, I'll turn around. I'm sorry." I literally have a desk microphone stand resting on my knee, and my knee will go numb probably over an hour, but that's fine. This we had a meeting. We've been doing all sorts of shit, escape rooms, which you guys didn't get me last Monday because I was asleep on the couch, and you came in and you were like, "Hey, buddy," I was like, "Hey, dude," and you're like, "You want to do a show?" And I was like, "No." I heard it. Can I have today off, please? No.
It's all right. I'd been thinking it was good to have Growdy on, talk about the in-houses.
Grudy.
That's something I've wanted to do for a little bit. I also, I won't talk about it on the show because I haven't hit her up officially and personally yet.
But oh man, have you been playing Dota?
Yes, I have.
And oh man, have I not been playing Dota?
You played no Dota.
Zero Dota.
So I know you're doing the escape room shit.
The second I get off, I call Harry and Liz.
Oh wow, and
talk until about 4 a.m. Yeah,
just like hardcore.
So Thursday night, I talked to them until Harry said, "Oh man, I'm being so irresponsible," and stayed up too late Thursday night.
That's the issue. Is I love the project because you were talking about this a little bit before. Like I haven't been involved with it yet, and if there's a decent way, I'm down to do it. Well, but it's hard.
Here's the thing: there's this fine line of when you involve another person in the actual building of it, then now you can't beta test.
Yeah, sure.
Now, no longer are you able to beta test it because now you know everything.
I love the idea of beta testing. I'm all about it.
The thing, so we've already got
like the right job for me.
So our friend that lives by our other friends, I've talked to him about beta testing it and everything.
Oh,
and
cool.
And basically how I'm going to do beta testing is you just get to do my room for free. I'm not going to charge you $20 to do it or $35 to do it. You just get to do it for free. And I'm just going to be watching you and I'm going to hear your feedback on it. But really, I'm going to figure out what goes wrong by watching you.
Well, at the end of the day, beta testing a room for free. I realize this is like getting into like the business dynamics of everything, which is probably super lame for everybody listening, but we're going to do it real quick because we haven't been able to talk much together.
No.
But doing the beta testing is beautiful for the concept that you're kind of looking at, which is selling the room to other people and to other businesses that are running.
And I need to watch you do it. So, for instance, in the escape room we have now, in one of the rooms that we have built, there's a clue that comes too early. And you've done this room.
Yes.
You've done it
comes way too early.
It's in Egyptian Enigma. You can look.
Again, you know,
it's what the room's called.
On the flip side, I will say that I'm okay with that clue coming a little bit early to an extent. I get why you
You
aren't because it's about...
You haven't watched like 30 hours of
Right.
painstaking...
But you're
like,
looking at... You're streamlining... You're trying to streamline it from like an audience perspective, right?
I'm trying to make it as close to an hour with fluidity while it's happening.
Right. And I get that. And I'm all
You know
about
what I mean?
that. From a challenging perspective, I love the idea of...
Does it make it more challenging or does it make it more confusing?
Confusion is challenging.
No.
I mean, like...
You can make challenge without confusion.
Let's be honest. If I was running you through in a Cthulhu campaign, D20 Cthulhu, let's say.
This is...
If I was running... If I was running you through it,
Yeah.
I would put clues that aren't necessarily useful until down the road within the mystery. I get that
there's a
functions
point in that.
a little bit differently. Yeah. Right.
And we do that. And we already do that. But when there's something that... So the problem I have with it is it's a big puzzle. And anybody that's listening that's ever been to an escape room isn't a scary, jumpy at you thing. And this is what I've realized I've had to tell people, because I realize I perceive it in an escape room as like a Halloween type thing.
Right.
It's
well,
like,
because that's kind of when they sprung up initially, and they had kind of Halloween
and
horror
they had
themes.
Halloween horror, and then people that were smart realized, oh, we could do a theme that is very palatable, is what I like to call.
Yeah,
a palatable
100%.
theme,
And
right, evergreen palatable theme.
I'm saying what you're talking about doing is making it more palatable.
Yes.
What I'm talking about doing is making it more confused. Like there's, I'm looking at it more from like a competitive element. Like,
what I was saying is that's a big puzzle.
Kind of
it takes you. So if it takes you 5 minutes to figure out that thing says what it says, but yet it gives you nothing, I just like charged you $2 to figure out nothing that you don't, and then you're going to forget about by the time you need it. And I have ran more than 100 people through this room, individuals, more than 200 probably, more than 200 individuals, and more than 30 groups through this room, and this is brand new. And that is the issue with every single group is you solve the first one and it opens a drawer, and you solve that drawer and then it opens this, and then you solve that. But that doesn't do anything.
So here's my question. Do people leave that room upset?
Yes, I don't let them.
Being honest. Do people really, because I didn't
leave
that room
upset. No, they don't. They don't leave the room upset because there's a big there's a big we have Utah listeners. I don't want to give it away because it hurt me when I ran out of escape rooms in my local city. When I ran out of rooms, I was like, damn. And you can't do an escape room twice, because I wouldn't even, if a customer came back and tried to pay to do it twice, I'd say, I would probably like say
do
yes.
What he did with us, right?
Well, what he did with us is something he doesn't do, which is he tells everybody the solution every single time. And now, anyway, that's a big can of worms too.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
enough escape rooms.
About escape room
I'm
stuff.
doing another project where I'm
it's
building
interesting.
escape rooms.
I'm looking forward to getting more into it. In fact, I've been talking about wanting to have you on you got to come on the proper Let There Be Geek show so we can just hardcore get into escape rooms.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to do an episode on escape rooms because I've probably read 300 pages about escape rooms, how to make them an hour long. Like how do you get so calculated?
All I hear now from Rin all the time is, well, I can't believe that I couldn't get people to go do this for a really long time.
Yeah, and I know, and I
wanted
wanted to write a thank you card to Rin.
All she wants to do.
Thank you for.
She's all about doing. She wants to do every escape room there is.
I'm doing one tomorrow.
That's how she's felt. Yeah, I'll tell her and see if she wants to do it.
They're expensive, and it's part of my budget for the new room. I have an R&D budget.
Yeah,
research and development.
Yeah,
and then I have test props. So last night we spent a good chunk of the budget on sending out test props, so that we can make sure it's sturdy enough to. Is it going to break every single time or whatnot? And if it works, then that test prop is now covered in my main budget. Yeah, because I've already paid for it. And so I have like 9 sheets in Excel that cover all my costs. I'm going to do it for, hopefully hit within 10% of my budget. Like within a range of 10% of the budget on the room. But I'm definitely looking to awe people for sure.
All right. We're going to go to Dota.
Yeah, no, we'll go to Dota. That's why I haven't been playing Dota. Yeah. As you guys may have realized with me, maybe not, maybe not, is that when I get into something, I really get into something. I've always been this way.
You don't say.
And I kind of go headfirst into it. And there have been so many projects since .p's inception that I've gotten into, whether that be working for the school, and helping them with like CRM, social media, sales, that type thing, onto other shit. Poker at one point was a phase. There's been a lot of things. Dota, definitely for a very long time. And still, definitely. It was nice to be able to play some Dota today, but when you were in an escape room for 12 hours and you've seen, and I'm sorry, I have to talk about the escape room to talk about my Dota, and all you're seeing are people like solve these puzzles, and people are brilliant. Like, it's really restored like my faith in people, because the way some people that they present themselves in a way, and it's cool to be able to see their facades and their intelligence, because I have a camera in the room, right? So I'm able to see the facade they put on around their girlfriend. But then I'm able to also see how intelligent they actually are. Because sometimes people put on dumb facades because they think it's impressing a woman, but yet they're actually a cool person and actually like, wow, really smart and talented, and like didn't think you'd be able to figure that out. So I'm like, I get like a dual perspective of each person that comes in. I honestly think this should be studied. And I bet that it has been studied by psychologists.
God only knows.
I honestly,
to my knowledge, but
it's like rats in a maze, dude. It's and it's hilarious. And it's crazy. So when you get off work and I come home, all I could do is think about this and read more about it and search through the depths of Amazon for props that I could change. Search through the depths of Home Depot.
So what we'll have you do is create these rooms, and then we'll start doing actual psychological studies, and then we'll just write grants.
Yeah, exactly. And have the government pay us to do it. No, we're working on a franchising license and to franchise out and everything like that. So I'll be selling my rooms as intellectual property. But so it's hard to turn that off when I get home. And so a lot of the nights, like last weekend, I just get home and I would just do independent study. And it wasn't until our good friend Harry's girlfriend, who is also a good friend of ours, Liz, she texts me and she's like, I have an idea for an escape room. And I was like, you want to hop on a call? And she's like, yeah. And she called me on Skype. And then Harry's there and he meanders over to the computer. And we talk for like 9 hours about what we would do if we were to create one.
Yeah.
And
all right,
and then Dota goes completely to the wayside.
I'm going to tangentialize away from Dota for a second.
I'm sorry.
But I'm going to further tangentialize with you. It's been interesting to see since we started doing .p, and we've been getting, we adhere to a schedule. Like, we get, whether you like the content that we produce or not, whether you think it's shit or great, or you're a fan or you despise us, we produce the content and we do it with frequency, and we have a great community that's built up around it.
Yeah.
Doing all of that and maintaining that schedule, and now branching off like into Let There Be Geeks, and it's been fun to see, and you into this. It's been fun to see our friends come out of the woodwork a little bit
and be like, "Hey, you guys have a little buzz. Like, what's going on over there?"
Just that, I feel like we've hit like a weird stride where we just are doing.
Our friends are like, "Hey, I want to do what you're doing because what I'm doing isn't what you're doing, and what you're doing looks like fun."
And it has been. It's been fun to have them. I love hearing, because
we're seeing Chase come in. These are all very old friends, especially of Denny's.
Yeah.
Denny goes back with Chase. God, I don't know what.
Over 10.
Over 10 years with Harry. Over 10 years.
Yeah. Since he was like in 5th grade.
We both go back to Liz's inception.
Yes, that's true.
But
anyway, it's just been fun to see, because you tell it's interesting. It's an interesting human dynamic to see the friends of ours who have
at first we're just like shit. They're doing a Dota podcast. They're doing a video game podcast.
But who we just kept telling, like, hey, if you have an idea, just tell us, and if we can do it or help with it, we'll do it.
And really, the person for me that I'm not. What I've realized is I'm not inherently creative. I'm just a good thief. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm really good at being a chameleon, I guess.
That's I had it was our buddy Nick who always told me that, like, he had an old art teacher who just said the best artists are the best thieves.
Yeah,
because there's no original human thought. It's so difficult to have original human thought. In fact, like, they're an interesting thing to try is to find a Google a nope, is what it's called. Gene Weingarten from the Washington Post coined this term. A Google a nope is a specific phrase within Google that when you type it in with quotations results in no results found, because it's rare. It's hard to find.
No results.
Like specific strings of text
that have
never been put together before.
A thought that has never been thought.
And so, there is some element to that. Like, how much is my podcasting influenced by the podcast that I listen to? Probably 100% of it.
listen. So I guess to say it's okay
Sure.
with that, then I'm being influenced by the podcast you're listening to by listening to you podcasting and podcasting with you.
Well, and that
because I don't listen to podcasts, guys. That's another like truth, and it's not for any specific reason. I just don't have a commute. I don't have. When I play, like a lot of you see me stream. When I stream Dota, I don't listen to anything but Dota sounds. And what like the actual gameplay, like I don't put music on. I don't put.
I've started to put music on, and it's been life changing.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's life changing for me was turning my camera speed up to 5,000.
Oh, I did that too recently.
Yeah.
Because I was watching that Purge video, and
Yeah.
it was like, first of all, your camera speed's way
So
too
you were
slow.
watching the 2.7K
Dude, I've
Spectre.
been watching everything.
The
he
coaching the
does.
2.7K Spectre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
and he's like,
I'm
by the way,
Spectre.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's been amazing.
You're not. Well, I'm pretty sure I beat you to the spamming.
Yeah,
Spectre
you did,
thing.
but it's
And
been a
do you have
fucking
16
blast.
wins in a row yet?
No, I don't yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, Spectre is really fun. That video was really good.
That video was great.
Yeah.
In my brain.
By
I
the
was
way,
like,
just search in
oh.
Purge 2.7K Spectre.
If you go to if you just, I mean,
And the guy
Purge
is.
gamers, you
did you
Google it.
realize what the guy's name is?
No,
It's not V. That's what the Spectre's handle is. Not V. Like Navi.
Oh,
Not then the symbol V.
Great.
And he says like I like the guy, and I think he
gets defensive.
he
though.
does get defensive, and he calls
but we
people
all
retards,
would.
and he's like, they're just retards on my team. No, I would not get defensive with Purge.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is everybody feels defensive. Like you're going to feel, but like and that's
I don't
what
feel
I'm
defensive with
agreeing
Proud.
Like, you shouldn't
or
have.
I feel a little defensive with Ursi because I can beat him mid, but I don't feel defensive with Proud. I don't really feel defensive with Fafnir. I did at one point, but at this point, I've watched enough Fafnir games where like I'm waiting for a game and I'll pop in and watch and be like, yeah, that was good. Like undeniably, he made the right choice there.
His replay for those who haven't, it's going to go up on the YouTube as soon as me and Fafnir can figure out what the fuck is going on with the YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why we're having trouble getting him access to it.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I do know why now, and I think we can solve it.
Mm-hmm.
But he did a replay analysis on one of my Medusa games, and it was eye-opening. I mean, it's absolutely eye-opening.
And just
like little shit, like
little ebbs and flows.
I hate to say it, but like he corrected me on something I was doing because you had told me to do
What?
it. Because you were like, just get into lane and just fucking spam those snakes, man. Spam those snakes.
But you're pushing the wave and you're doing
pushing
a
the
bunch
wave.
of
And Fafnir was just like, these are terrible. This is a terrible time to do that.
Where I spam snake is mid. And that's to hopefully bounce and hit them and get mana off them and do a shitload of damage because they're my last bounce.
Sure.
So like if you have a level 2 snake with 4 bounces,
of course though.
Yeah.
Like duh. Like if you play Medusa
in safe lane though, you want to kind of like prioritize mana.
But even
shield
then, prioritizing
and
snake,
snake.
you shouldn't be spamming it there either. You should still be controlling the flow of the wave.
Just like
mid.
Purge says in that 2.7K game when he's talking about the laning phase and the Spectre using the spectral dagger, he's like, why? He's like, why are you using your dagger? Like, you need to be using that to live or to kill.
Right.
There are two purposes for that.
Yeah, because you're expending 160 mana.
He's like,
for 40 gold.
he's like, now you have no mana, and also another thing that Purge says is like, you won't have mana for the entire laning phase now, and it's like one Q. And you don't have mana for the entire laning phase.
Well, and when you and I
on
find
some heroes that's true, Sven. That's very true.
Yeah. Well, on it, or even how often have you, especially at our fucking
And that's why you
skill
buy
level,
mangoes.
How often have you been playing Spectre in the safe lane and come up against a Sven in the off lane where if you're out there throwing out your 160 mana to dagger a creep for a last hit, and Sven comes in to stun you for his 140 mana, he gets a lot more out of his 140 with his effective stun than you do out of an ineffective dagger, for 160.
You
might need to trade mana with him to survive.
Yeah.
That stun might mean your life.
I also loved how simply it was put where he's like, there are two commodities in Dota. There's gold and there's experience, and all you do is convert that into things.
Yeah.
No, Proud said that actually. Sorry. Purge didn't say that. Purge said something very similar though.
Yeah,
that
but
was
you
also
converted
good.
that into a kill. You convert
that into a desolate,
But what really hit me the most from all of that was leveling up dagger, because I've gotten shit advice where people told me to level up fucking dispersion, where people told me to
and going over I told you I did a 1-1-4-1 build for a long time. And he made so much sense when he's like, you have 625 health. This is going to, at max, do 62 damage if you go from 625 to 0.
Yeah.
You're going to do 62 damage.
Yeah.
And when that was so eye-opening, and this is easy math. 10% of any number I can do, like instantly in my brain. You know what I mean? And everybody could as well. Because you just take a decimal point off of it. It's super easy. But to look at it in those terms.
Even more what he hit was just, you get that urn.
And the urn does 150 damage. And when he's like... but he's like, because the first thing you do is you snake a kill from whoever the fuck you can get it from right after you get the urn. He's like, this is a kill steal hero. You steal a kill.
You kill steal. And dude, I do it all the time. It's been a blast because what it opens you up to and what it just clicked in my brain. Him talking about
dude.
That.
Welcome to the fucking club.
I'm spectering in and fucking I'm getting double kills because 2 weak heroes are running and I'm going from Spectre to Spectre. Yeah, go from 1 to 1.
I talked about this. I want to get a little bit of credit because I did talk about this back when I was spamming Spectre.
It was going through all these Purge videos and just kind of rekindling things that hit it. And I've been spamming it and I'm getting the hang of it. I'm getting good at it. I'm gonna spam.
And I love that he's like, Spectre is only weak in the laning phase. Think about it. He's like, there's a reason for that. What can Spectre do? Spectre can throw a dagger. And it was super insightful. I watched that.
I gotta get my radiant. Well. I'm getting better at farming with him. My radiance timings are still a little late. They're like 23 minutes, 24 minutes. In a bad game, it can be 28 minutes.
Well, I think 28 minutes.
In a real bad game, it can be never, of course.
It can be, I just buy a diffusal blade. Fuck, I need something. Or I just buy a Yasha and hope to get a Manta. Yeah. Or something like that. No, I know those games. I was playing Spectre Badman Days, which was the build was like
Diffusal
Poor Man's
drums.
Shield, Poor Man's Drums, Diffusal or Manta. Usually Diffusal first, but Diffusal or Manta, depending. And
Did we say urn?
And urn. Yeah. So it was and it was super formulaic and it was fun to follow. And I'd say about half of my 16 in a row.
I've now heard 2 people. I want to say it was Proud, and then again Purge in that video. Basically, just people saying, and I've heard Fafnir say it before. I'm positive, but the Radiance was built for Spectre.
Yeah.
And I do you notice it. It's one of those items that you
think about why it's good
right away.
Think about why it's good. You were multiplying the 55 burn damage by 5.
Oh yeah, it's a similar it's a similar concept to why it not the exact same, but why a gem is good on a Naga side.
Or look at look at what it makes your aura turn into. So you have an aura for how your burn damage, right? How many units around you're doing the 55 burn damage. When you hit Haunt, every single one of those has that circle. So now look at how much of the map is being affected by
and just the mischance that you're providing. And
how much of the map is now missing 17% of the time? How much of the map is now 55 damage per second? Those are things to consider. Is wow, 55 damage doesn't seem a lot per second. But multiply that by 5.
His whole concept of the math. And little things like I talked about on I think our last Wednesday show, the getting the mask of regen, the Sage's mask, is useless before 33 intelligence, because for the most part you can get the equivalent regen from 2 iron branches. Yeah.
Oh, talking about this build is shit. And you're like, well, I've seen that before. Why is that shit? And he's like, with 2 iron branches, you would get this, and you'd get this, and you'd get this, and it'd be the same. I think that is all Purge is doing and he's not even perfectly correct on his math. He's just
giving you a close enough approximation.
An approximation.
So you can see it.
Yeah, he's not 62.7345. He's not he's just looking at numbers and just giving a raw approxation of how good.
But he also knows some basic things that I'm realizing I've never properly committed to memory. Things like that a point of strength gives 20 HP to every hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
we've talked about this.
We've talked about it, but it's one of those things that
putting an idea into the game
should be. I should concrete that in my mind. Those are things that. Because in all reality, it's what.
Well, why do you build Ogre Club after Point Booster? You know what I mean? Pretty much on every Ags hero. Why do you build the Ogre Club?
For the HP. Yeah. But that's not always the right decision.
No, sometimes you need. Well, I'm going to say this 95% of the time, Staff of Wizardry first is the worst thing you can do.
Depending on the hero.
I don't even know depending on the hero.
I think this probably
fucking setup, dude. Do I sit on the floor? The problem is Denny is perpendicular to me right now, and to talk into the microphone.
And you want to get animated.
Yeah, it's just I have stare at a different wall in order. It's
I have to do it then every time we record.
And it hurts my back if I do it.
Yeah.
If only I wish. This is why the show should be live. I mean, you guys can see the conundrum I'm in right now.
Yeah, it's quite the conundrum.
Anyway, no, I'm glad that
it's been a blast. It also suits my playstyle.
I bet you're better at Dota than me by a big shot by now.
But not. My mechanics are still weak, especially with this hero. I mean, I'm still, I'm still like 10 or 15 games.
So I played 2 games today and felt just so utterly weak, even on heroes that I know. And then I had I played a Timbersaw game before work Friday. I hate that I'm calling it work. I'm calling it work, though.
Well, sure.
Why am I don't call .p work. I'm not like I got to go to work. I guess it's because I'm going to like a physical location.
Yeah, when you're going to a physical location.
And you know that you're going to be at that physical location for a long amount of time, I guess. You just equate it to work. It's not a job, by the way. Like, this is not a job. This is ridiculous. Time goes by so quick because you're laughing the entire time. Sure. It's not getting old yet. Okay. And I'm getting better at playing Tricky Mickey.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I basically play the Joker in one of these over the mic.
I need that clip somewhere. I'm getting better at playing Tricky Mickey.
Do you want like
disturbing.
No. You want me to be Tricky Mickey for a second?
Yeah, only because there's like one person out there who would be sad if they didn't hear
So, that's right. You caught me. The bomb is hidden under the desk drawer. I bet you can't find it. Yeah, dude. Going like that far. And when I almost like want to hide when the groups open the door and be like, that wasn't me. That was on the radio. I hope you know that. That was some weird guy. But like, I'm getting to play this character and I'm watching them respond to it. And some people are like looking at the radio. I'm like, whoa. And some people are like, this is fucking awesome. And some people are like, that was just weird and creepy. Like, you have to judge the group.
Some people are like, man, don't let the kids near that guy when we leave.
Oh, I had so everybody in the family was wearing something BYU, and I think it's because there's a BYU game or something. I don't know. They were very LDS, very very LDS. But I went out there to do the spiel. Have you ever done an escape room? And they're like, yeah, we're addicted. They drove all the way. They drove from 2 hours away to come to our escape room. And we get them in there, and they're the worst group I've ever seen in my life. Oh. And it's because the escape rooms that they have done made their mind too rigid. Apparently, it's normal for escape rooms to say, don't take things off the wall. You need to take things off the wall in our rooms. At least one thing, you need to pull it open. Okay? It's important. And so they were too respectful, and they didn't want hints. I always respect somebody's want to solve 100%. A puzzle.
Yeah.
I don't want people to help me through puzzles. I do puzzles all the time, anagrams, those type things. I don't want somebody standing over my shoulder and if I struggle to tell me what the word is that I'm looking for. I want the gratifying experience of figuring it out. Yeah. And so I ask people, and when they say no, okay. If you're sure, and then are you sure? Oh yeah, we're escape room experts. No room can hold me.
Watch how smooth this transition is.
Okay.
You can't take that attitude into Dota, though.
No, you can't. I'm sorry, you guys. This is okay. This is isn't this supposed to be a log of my journey through Dota? Sorry, my journey through Dota made me into a super nerd to the point where your girlfriend took us all to an escape room that I almost didn't go to.
I know. Yeah,
I almost believe in God again, dude. I almost believe in fate because that night I was not convinced I was going to go to the room with you guys. I was I might just stay home and play Dota. I had my Jungle Hut stream going, and it was lots of fun. I might just jungle this Luna some more. I don't want to go. And then I went, and that night, everyone's, where is Josh? Because I was in the building, they're trying to close, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, all right, so what's going on here? How's your business work? Did you get have you return on investment yet? How long you been open?
Because I think what you realized in that, all right, I'm gonna let you derail a little bit.
Sorry,
I'm gonna let it.
This is what's going on.
What you realized in that moment was that it's a great idea. It just doesn't have a lot of exposure.
No exposure. It's not properly done. Two people that have no idea how to do something like this are doing it, and I walked into the building. It was like me walking onto a poker table with 8 other fish, just 8 fish, sure. 8 fishier fishes than me, and I know that I'm gonna take. I don't want to take these guys. I'm not taking their money, and they could listen. I mean, this is a big thing. This is
you'd like to take it to the next level.
This is the next fucking thing. And what do I love about D&D and Cthulhu? I absolutely love a good story.
Yeah.
And I love a good prop.
Sure. Yeah.
And
good prop helps.
A good prop and a good story.
Prop helps, yeah.
And all they have right now are good props. Let's get the good story element in there too.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? So,
that's why you're not
within
Spectre,
within 2 weeks, I basically invaded these guys that made an escape room in our local city. I took ownership in the company, and then I am now constructing my own room within their building. Technically, it's within our building, I guess you could say. Within
their building.
Within his building.
Yeah, the one building.
And I am going to be the proud owner of my own escape room. And then I'm going to franchise them out and sell my intellectual property. And I'm super stoked about it.
Show enough.
I'm so sorry that this is like... That's why I haven't been playing Dota as much as... Usually, I can find Dota 2 to fit with my addictions. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Find a little time.
Not this.
This...
Not lately.
Not on the weekends. I can't play Dota on the weekends anymore.
Yeah.
My mind is...
Which is when I'm maxing out my Dota time.
That my mind just can't... I can't sit there and stare at it. Although I'm sitting there and staring at a screen the whole time. And
sure.
I can't sit there and play Dota. I just can't. I want to be making sure that I'm prepared. Making sure that I people aren't getting out of my room in 10 minutes. Oh no.
It's okay to have to do other stuff than Dota.
But anyway, I've been appreciating Dota. Like I was really excited to play, and I was doing that, scrolling through every single hero thing. Like, he'd be fun, but no. He'd be fun, but no. And I end up picking Bat Rider.
Sure.
And
you do.
It was so much fun. We lost so bad, but the other team were such good sports. The other team was just, we were just talking back and forth, and they're like, in just like a really fun way. And I was like, and I said at one point, I'm glad I'm not losing to complete douchebags, is what I said. Like, usually I'd lose to just douchebags and then even the guy that I was having this good time with, I couldn't tell if he was fucking with me or if this is just what he does in every game he wins. But we're having this candid conversation back and forth in all chat. And then at the very end, he all chats easy MMR. And I was like, oh man, like that's breaking the code, bro. Like, I just told you I'm glad I'm not losing to douchebags, and you have to do the easy MMR thing.
That's painful.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he meant it sarcastically.
And that's what I've been like.
Hopefully.
I've thought about it like 3 times now, where it's like, he was sarcastic.
Sure.
He definitely meant it. He didn't
believe
mean
the best in you.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Hey, restoring. Yeah. Okay. Everything. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is bringing.
All,
faith has been restored, though.
Yeah. Sure.
Faith has been restored. I don't think people are as dumb as I did 3 weeks ago.
Hey, that's
and
good
that's
enough.
that's good. That's a good thing. So
I've had some better experiences. I've had some better experiences of late in Dota.
Yeah.
Some.
Well, the camera thing is awesome because now I'm just getting better at double tapping spacebar. Is what I've realized is that Andrew came in and he's like, Jesus, dude, your camera's all over the place, and I was like, but look at all the information I'm getting, and he's like, I guess Dota isn't supposed to be played like a spectator sport. It was him saying like, I don't need to play Dota like I watch Dota, like smooth and everything like that. Like, I can be all over the fucking place with my camera.
I do mostly minimap clicking on certain heroes.
Well,
I'll say I do a lot of camera panning around, a lot of edge pan around where I'm at, the general location.
But I used to do, say, maybe like 500 units around me. Now I'm doing 1,500 units.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing too. Is I feel like I'm able to encompass more information with the faster
and
with the faster.
We've played enough Dota that you can read information really quickly. Something can pop in front of you in the blink of an eye, and you can identify if it's a threat or not. Yeah. But if you have a slow camera, it takes you longer. Seeing it, you immediately recognize it, but it takes you longer to drag your camera over there. And before, it was like I was dragging a brick across a rubber desk. And now I'm just like ice skating, dude, with that camera.
That's how I felt with Spectre, dude. Like I've had so many double and triple kills just because I pay attention. Because I pay attention to what's going on the fucking map. And And just you see
So
that
now,
farm acceleration.
so now you're where I was when.
Oh, I'm gonna spam.
when
I'm
we
gonna abuse it.
When we started this podcast, remember how I was like, I watch every Purge video. I've seen them all. I can actually like fall asleep to him because I remember like every line he says, and I can like follow
I've been
along.
scoping out the ones that I feel like are pertinent to me. I'm still not.
Oh, every single video, you learn a pretty good
sure.
lesson.
I still would rather focus on videos for heroes I'm interested in playing, and at this point, I'm just trying to fill in gaps so that I can. I don't want to pick Spectre. For instance, I know I'm never going to pick Spectre again if somebody is running like a Medusa. I'm not going to play that super fucking greedy. I'll take a Sven or a Jug offlane or into the
Medusa's
safe lane
in
instead.
that game, remember? And he says Spectre's good against Dusa. He even mentions that, and he's like,
No.
Spectre...
I mean on my team.
Oh,
I'm talking about
yeah.
on my team.
Oh, yeah, budgeting.
Right. I'm trying to fill in
You're talking
gaps.
budgeting, yeah.
And I realize one of the gaps in my capability that I frequently see, because I'll get into games and I'm not an idiot. Like, I'll look at the team comp and I'll go, God, we have to win this game in 30 minutes. Oh, and I'm below 3k MMR. Oh, I'm at 2k MMR. That's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
We need a late game carry.
Exactly.
We need somebody to do something, and that's one of my holes. Like,
think about the patch that Spectre was really popular in.
yeah,
The other heroes in that patch were early fighty.
I think the popular heroes in this patch have still tended to lean towards more
They're
early game.
No, we've got
lineups.
greedy heroes. We've got heroes that want gold. Like, look at
I feel like Spectre was popular in that patch because greedy heroes that wanted
Spectre.
gold
No, they
were-
played a cheap Spectre. That's how Badman got 9k. It was a cheap Spectre, or 8k. It was 8k. Remember? He was an 8,000 player, and now we have multiple 9,000 players. This is back when it was like rare to be 8,000 MMR.
Yeah,
It was cheap. You bought cheap items. You bought really cost-effective items. Phase boots, really cost-effective item.
I'm not talking. I'm not really talking about like what I'm playing against.
You're talking about budgeting. I
talking
understand.
about-
that.
yeah, more with
I'm
team
kind
comp.
of. I'm taking
Because
a
it's
parallel
not-
to that
It's not
idea,
so
I
much
guess.
at the 2K level. I frequently feel yes, like there's some counter picking that goes into it, but I can guarantee you that if somebody picks up, here's what I know happens at 2K. Everybody understands that you need an MKB to counter a PA, so they don't freak out about her.
It's
Everybody
funny that you said
understands-
this because on Proudland, you didn't listen to Proudland.
No, I did not.
I went through like 20 things that I said everybody at 2K knows, and I used that example.
Yeah, right. And
I said everybody knows to be in their lane on time in 2K.
yeah,
everybody knows.
They kind of have their starting items down.
Yeah,
on the
everybody-
heroes that
yeah.
they spam.
Everybody knows for the most part that you need a quelling blade, which boggled my mind with the guy that Purge was coaching that he never bought a quelling blade on Spectre.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
It
about
makes
that too.
it a million times
Super
easier.
fucking easy.
Spectre is
Yeah.
a really hard hero to last hit with
Yeah.
without
All
a quelling
I ever
blade.
do is go to lane knowing, okay, just got to get a quelling
Yeah,
blade.
just hopefully I can get 2 of the first 4 to buy my quelling blade.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%. But so there are little things like that. Like I feel like there's at least one guy in the game who knows to pick Spirit Breaker against Nature's Prophet. There's a guy that knows to pick Anti-Mage against a Wraith
Yeah,
King.
basic
against a
counters.
Medusa. They know really basic shit like
Earthshaker
that.
against PL.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I don't worry so much about countering because some asshole on my team
And what did Purge say?
is
He's like,
gonna
that's going to
fucking
give
do
you a maybe a 10% increase. So yeah, you could hit 3K when you're really a 2,500 player. But is that the goal?
Right.
Like, that's almost verbatim what he said.
So I don't want to do that. What
Yeah.
I've been doing is looking for holes in the fucking draft, and I realized as a player at the 2K level, one of my biggest holes was I don't have those super late game carries. I don't have the Spectres and the Dusas in my lineup, and so I figure I had a lot of fun with Dusa. I've been having a fuckload of fun with Spectre. I'm adding these to my repertoire. These are going to be the carries that help me, move forward in 2K.
Yeah.
That's my goal at this point.
And I believe that you'll definitely hit 3K before me because I am.
I'm not fucking around in ranked anymore. Either.
Yeah, I just fuck around. I only play ranked and I fuck around half the time.
Yeah.
And so I know, and I don't even have it on a personal achievement list to get 3K anymore. Like,
I would like to.
I know.
I feel like the goal of this, if I'm going to be doing a podcast about it and enjoying the game, I might as well be getting better at it.
Sure.
And I'm totally with you that it's a game.
It's just not
a fucking game.
It's just not on my list right now of I'm going to just fucking grind out like 50 fucking games of Spectre. If I get tired or I feel like I'm playing weak, I'm going to pop into a normal and I'll play Gyrocopter because I've always been interested in Gyrocopter. But I don't have that mindset with Dota right now. I have the mindset of, oh, they have a Weaver, they have a PA, they have an or they have a bunch of squishy heroes. I'm going to play techies. And I'm going to totally fucking blow these guys up. And if we win or lose, whatever, I'm going to play techies. Sure.
And I'll admit, in the normal games that I'm playing, I'm kind of doing that with Spectre, where it's like, well, we've got way too many greedy fucking cores already, but fuck it, I'm gonna run Spectre in the safe lane, and when one of these assholes starts doing a little bit better, I'm gonna snake every kill from him. Yeah, and that's how it's gonna go. Yeah, and it's been fun. I've been having fun with it, and I've been playing a lot with Rin.
The thing with Batrider is, I was scrolling through the heroes today, and I realized, and I'm Radiant as well, which is primarily where I like to do all my weird jungles.
Sure.
Because the cliff on the medium camp. And I scroll over Batrider, and he's in the B's. B, you know? Yeah. And I scroll over him all the fucking time. And I'm like, why am I scrolling over this guy all the time? This guy's cool, and he's not that difficult to play. Sure. I get the point. He's a pure initiator. I blink in, I grab him, I do some damage when I'm pulling him back, and then the team does the rest. And the cool thing that I thought was, okay, at least I'm not going to go off on my own. I'm going to be team oriented because I'm playing it. I'm playing a hero that you don't just solo lasso a guy. I mean, situationally, maybe you would solo lasso a guy if he's trying to TP or something like that. Preferably, you just use your W. But if your W is on cooldown or whatever, like 99% of the time, you're not lassoing somebody when it's a 1v1. You know what I mean? You're lassoing when you are trying to pull him back into the clutches of your team. And I got that in the game. I got that satisfaction. And so losing didn't really bother me that much. I didn't rage. I wasn't upset. I didn't stop playing because I lost. I didn't think Batrider sucks.
Well, it was a learning experience for you. And
I couldn't jungle, which was the problem. We had a tri-lane top for some reason. We had one person mid. Or no, we had a dual lane top.
You were on Radiant?
We were on Radiant. We had a dual lane top. So we had a dual off lane. And then we had a solo Spectre. Which it's funny that you say Spectre. He was terrible, though. And he was giving me shit until I muted him and stuff like that. Which he had every right to give me shit, too. Because I was doing terribly. Because even though the hero's not hard to understand, that doesn't mean I'm good at him. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Or good with farming patterns or anything like that. So I start out and I buy an Iron Talon intending to jungle. And the Spectre's like, is anybody going to support me? And I realized at that point, I'm like, I am in ranked and I can support him.
In ranked? I'll be at this point.
You don't care.
I don't even.
Yeah, that's how I felt with Spectre.
Leave.
Yeah,
just
that's
leave
how
me
I felt.
The fuck alone.
I know. I'll survive through the laning phase. I'll get a last hit here and there if I have to dive for one.
And it's 2K. These assholes are pushing the lane. I do 90% of the time I've been playing Spectre. I've been farming under the fucking tower.
That's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt when I was going through the trenches of my Sven.
It's going to be Spectre all the way. I'm just going to...
I said the same thing.
I'm going to haunt. I'm going to haunt everybody.
Is super fun to do. Am
it's
I right?
A blast. Yeah,
when you see see the Shadow Shaman that barely goes into fog, but you see that he's at
even better,
like 8%
when the
health.
game starts, when I hit the power curve where I'm feeling good and I don't feel like the team is going to fuck up, and I know I'm more powerful than most of or at least 2 or 3 of the individuals on the other team, I'll just start rando haunting. And then just see who's alone on the map. And then go solo kill them.
Because Desolate, you know what bothers me? He calls it Desolate. Purge. And I think it's obviously Desolate.
I would agree, yeah.
And it's like, you want to level up Desolate? It's not a desolate landscape. You're desolating somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing that every time I cringed a little bit. But that's me being like super... You know, like
geek nitpicky,
and it doesn't matter if he pronounces it right or wrong. He understands the skill way better than I do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But he says desolate, and I'm like, ugh. Every time he says that, it's like I understand why you'd say that because some words do. You know, you wouldn't enunciate the L as heavy. Desolate. You know what I mean?
No, I mean it's the draw. It's the A.
Desolate.
Yeah, it's not. It has nothing to do with the L. It's his pronunciation on the A.
Oh yeah, desolate.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah, you're going for a long A, and he's going for a short A.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you.
You know.
But yeah, no, I would have to pause and then punch myself in the face every time I said that. But other than that, it was a great video.
I love, no.
And he even got the other guy to say desolate. And the guy was saying desolate. And so the other guy was...
I would have done it too.
I know, I would have too, just out of respect for Purge.
Yes, sir, Purge.
Yes,
you gotcha.
Yes,
you
Mr. Purge, sir. Yeah.
I'll tell you what watching those videos has made me want to do is just let him yell at me, and just pay the fucking $50 or whatever it is.
I hit up Purge within a month of us starting this podcast. I hit up Purge, I hit up Slasher, I hit up like 3 people that were...
What's his coaching rate?
Oh, I didn't care.
But I mean, what is?
I think it was $50 or $100 an hour, and I said I wanted 8 hours.
Oh my god!
And they said, "Sorry, I'm not doing any coaching." All of them said that to me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Purge doesn't do a ton of it, but it would be
I guarantee that guy did not pay. I guarantee that somebody that Purge knew that was 2.7K and knew it would be good to have educational content. I doubt that guy paid for that video. I bet Purge knew somebody, and that guy, because that guy's...
Nah, I'll bet Purge schedules it. I'll bet people pay. I'll bet somebody pays
I emailed and I said, let me know if you ever need...
Right, but I'll bet...
And I said I'd double the rate. I said I'd double the rate, too. And this was when he was less famous. He was still way famous.
Maybe you thought you were going to scam him, because that's how scam artists sound. It's like, hey, I'll double the rate.
I really would have, though, is the thing.
You really would have scammed him?
No. I really would have doubled the rate. Like, I know you.
But I'm saying, when this comes through an email form, some people start going, oh, yeah, and that Nigerian prince has a...
I didn't say Nigerian prince. I said
I
said I was Pablo Escobar's son.
Yeah.
And that I was super rich because he hid a bunch of money that I found, and that I'd pay him double the rate.
You just need him to launder the money for you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I would pay... I mean, I'd love to pay Purge $50 or whatever, but I'll bet he does, because think about it. All he's got to do is ask you, hey, can I just throw this video up on YouTube? What is it? Any skin off of your back?
Oh, I know.
You're getting coached by Purge.
I'll say this on air. I would pay $500 for 1 hour of Purge coaching me on Nature's Prophet. I would love for him to tell me what the fuck, why I can't win with this hero, but I've played with this hero so many times. And I know I'm going to get 1 million people that are going to say, I'll coach you for free. But no thanks. I want Purge to coach me.
Yeah.
And I would pay $500 and I'd let him make $1 million off the video too. And I wouldn't want a single dollar. But that's not going to happen because he's super famous now.
Yeah. Maybe.
You know what I mean? He's like, he's to that level of famous where he just goes out and like limply puts his hand out as people touch it.
I'll bet we could ask Slacks to ask Purge to give you coaching for $500 an hour. I bet he'd do it for $500 an hour.
Really?
Yeah, I'll bet so.
Well, I wonder how much $500 means to him.
Or, he may not be coming on this week, but Zayori is coming on maybe this week, maybe next, maybe really soon. He's going to be on Theorycraft Thursdays with Ursi and Proud, for those who are listening.
I'd pay $500.
Maybe Zayori.
But the thing is, I wouldn't want to... I feel like I already fucked myself because maybe it's not Nature's Prophet that I want coaching with.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's like... now I got to think because like I'm thinking like $500 may mean...
You get to be the best at one hero potentially.
Yeah.
At 2K.
I'd want it to be a hero that I know that I'd like... Okay, Purge. Tell me how to get 4K in one game on spamming this hero.
Is there not an obvious
Maybe
answer?
I just tell Purge what hero to tell me to pick. Maybe I'd have Purge tell me what hero, because I know
to be like a 2K madman pub stomper.
No, to get like above Ursi, just to spam to get 1 point above Ursi.
You tell Purge your goal is to just be above 4,900 MMR.
Is he what? Did Ursi hire some boosting service? How is he above 4,900 MMR?
He's 4,900.
No,
yes,
not by his own skill. I beat him mid. No way did that fucking guy get 4,900. Like, no way. Have you heard the shit that comes out of his mouth, dude? No fucking way is he 4,900. I would say more like 3,900. Like, and that's generous. That's maybe I would do a plus or minus. No, I would do a minus 1,500. Yeah. Just straight up. He's a 3,400 player. Okay. I've seen AG play. I can't tell the difference between AG and Ursi. That's for sure.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm being serious, dude. I beat the dude mid hard.
Oh no, sir.
Yeah, I may have just started a war. Yeah,
the war you've unleashed on
we
yourself.
now have a new person to kind of take on that leadership role, so I can say whatever the fuck I want now.
Oh, now you can.
And now, I only get in trouble by one person instead of the whole community. Because you can just say my project manager didn't manage me well enough.
Yeah.
Mr. Blue is the project manager for
yeah.
Defense of the Patients now. He's going to be taking over all, like pretty much like everything, for the most part. He's going to be handling bookings, handling stuff like that, making sure that we're doing the shit that I said we were going to do. Yeah, basically.
That's what Blue's here to do.
Yeah, Blue is here to uphold...
Make us do sober what we said drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Blue's here to do.
Or that wouldn't be the case for Ursi, though, is the thing, because he loses drunk. But
Why? How much longer does Ursi have to suffer?
Or the idea in the meeting tonight, the All Right show with Ursi. It's just all right. All right, everybody.
I'm sorry, Ursi. I'm doing I do my best here.
I think antagonizing
I present nothing
Ursi,
but facts. 4,900.
Is it really?
Facts. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Did Proud log onto his account or something? Because it's definitely...
He's 4,900 and
the day he hits 5,000 MMR is the day I pay Purge $1,000 an hour to coach me so I can get 5K. Like, that's you know what I mean? Like, that's the day when I just stop doing escape rooms. I drop out of school.
Maybe I'm mistaken.
I
but
think
I really
you're 3,900. I think it's 3,900.
No, I know he's.
Maybe it's 38 then.
He's at least 45. I think he's 49.
No,
I know he was 49.
No, I've seen him at like
48,
48.50. I've seen him at like 48. I know he's like getting close to 5K.
And that was the discussion that was had. I don't know what Proud's MMR is though.
Proud, well, he displays it when it's up, and he doesn't display it when it's down.
Good for him. That's what we all should do.
Yeah, and Proud goes on pretty big swings because he only plays in ranked.
It's just, you know how on Facebook girls only take pictures of themselves
when they look
really good,
when their makeup's all done.
That's
up
what we're
and shit.
doing. That's our version of that. It's just
except
MMR.
me. I show all my numbers, dude. The only number that I really don't like to show is matches played. That's the number that's most embarrassing. I have 600 on the new account.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'd have to log into the old account, but over.
Oh, I'm back on the old account. I'm going to climb the legit way.
I know you are.
I'm going to do it.
I'm down to 2,200.
I mean, I told you, I calibrated, I fucked it up. I lost 8 of those 10 calibration matches, and I was like, yeah, this is where I belong. This is where I'm going to be. I'm going to go do it on the main account. I'm just going to fucking fill the holes that I've got, the gaps in knowledge that I have. Cover those positions, because I guess so long I've been picking shit carries to run with other shit carries.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Why do
we all
that?
do it, like picking Morphling when there's a Medusa mid too.
Yeah,
and then being like, oh my god, how come I cannot get my Yasha? And it's because Medusa's ate every camp. And,
how many times?
And every lane's pushed.
Right, exactly. Like you're with Medusa, she's gonna eat all the farm. And you know what? You want her to.
Yeah.
If you were a decent fucking human being,
but it still doesn't mean you're not mad.
To.
You're like, God damn it, I wish I could just farm down to one thing.
So here's the cycle you got to fucking break. Or at least I had to fucking break, which was I'm out there competing with Medusa for farm in a game where I want her to get fucking farm.
Now I'm splitting farm with somebody who
needs
farm.
Then in the next game, I'm going to compete with the next Dusa because I can't trust any Dusas because they never win games because I'm competing for farm when I want them to have farm.
So you're just perpetuating a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. 100%. And that's the
It's a paradox.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's become self-fulfilling prophecy. Of course you can't trust any Deuces that you meet in the game. Of course you can't trust any support you meet in the game to support you. You don't let them support. You don't let them do that shit.
I have taken the red pill and seen the paradox that is, the way the confines of the matrix within 2K. But that doesn't mean I'm a 2K player because of my attitude.
Yeah, and I feel that way lately too.
And attitude is has been like I would say it's the subject of the week, especially with our Dota and Sir Action Slacks hitting 5,000 MMR, being within 800 points of Purge. Purge just gave him that coaching session, and Slacks is now just everybody's saying he GM'd, good-mannered, his way to 5K.
Yeah, sure.
And so everybody, all the top posts that I've seen today and yesterday, because I still have internet access, I can still read about Dota if I'm not playing it, have been like, I use the Slacks method of just joking around with my team, and I've climbed 300 MMR, and all I think to myself is it because they were joking around with their team and they went on a 12 spree? Like, I went on a 16 spree with Spectre. I didn't have a good attitude, but I probably had the worst attitude I've ever had during that because I'm 15 games in a row. You're going to fucking listen to me. I just won my last 15 games. Yeah. I know what I'm fucking doing. Okay?
Go look.
You know what I mean? Go look. Yeah. Last 15, it shows plus 25, plus 24, plus 20. You're going to fucking listen to me because I'm on a hot streak, and I know how to win this game. So that was probably like the most rigid and worst thinking I have ever had, was my 16th or my 17th game that I eventually lost. Because I lost. I was trying to get to 20, remember? Yeah. I wanted 20 consecutive wins. And I will tell you, I wasn't candid. I wasn't happy. I wasn't fun. I wasn't jokey. I wasn't like, whatever, guys.
I think the truth of the matter is that it's both. That you can do what you did, and you can also do what he did. Yeah. There are methods
but I do agree,
that work for completely different reasons.
I do agree that, like, how many times do I get that Legion Commander that had a bad jungle? Okay? The jungle was too tough for this Legion Commander, and so, fuck it. You guys are dumb. You're idiots. I didn't get that duel because fucking Winter Wyvern froze the Winter's Curse, the person I was dueling. That idiot. Didn't they know the change with Winter's Curse? I'm going to just sell all my items and feed mid.
Okay, that's a legit complaint.
No, that is a legit complaint.
What I'm talking about is
But diffusing that and being like, no, look at that as a funny thing. Like, ha ha ha, that Winter Wyvern, he messed up. Like, that's funny. Like, no, you'll get another duel. Like, it's not the end of the world. And in reality, it's not the end of the world. Make sure it doesn't happen again, but it's not the end of the game.
I guess what I'm more saying is there's a lack of respect at our level for team composition. And it's primarily...
It's not of respect. It's of attention. There's a lack of attention.
Well, and it's distrust. It's anger. It's rage. It's in every game, and it's easy to...
I don't even think it's at our level. I think that is a common theme throughout until you get into like 7K. And then it's not your composition. It's how you're playing the hero. And then in 8K, it's not how you're playing your hero. It's how...
It's different in 2K because here, you know what I've been running into more than anything lately in pubs?
What's that?
Is people saying, or people telling me how long they've been playing Dota. Whenever they tell,
like that's a thing of like that makes them an authority,
right? And it kind of, and
but
it makes
you're
you
still at 2K,
yeah, right, exactly, 100%.
I've been playing the game for over 2 years, like, probably 2.5 years. Probably I've been playing Dota 2.5 years.
You've been playing 8 years. I've been playing 2 years, and we're both really shitty.
Yeah. No,
and we're both the same.
I feel like after 2.5 years, I should be showing like 3,500 at least. I feel like after 2.5 years, if I was serious, and if the first time I played a carry and did well with it, and said, you know what, this is it, or the first time I did a support and did really well with it, and actually changed a 2K game while playing support, and said, you know what, this is it. I think I could be 3,500. I mean, I would have needed to know to learn my camera, to make my camera faster.
Right.
Which is something I just barely did.
Yeah.
You need to be able to... This is something that I don't know why it didn't click with me in my my journey from StarCraft 2 to Dota, which is all of StarCraft 2 is an information war. That's all it was. It was about hiding information and gathering information.
Yeah.
And I was very good at, in the blink of an eye, picking up, oh my god, that's too many Marines for how much of my army. And I didn't count them. It's just a feel. I saw a clump and said, no, I couldn't take that. Or, oh my god, a factory, Widow Mines incoming. I'm going to have Widow Mines in my and taking that information, using it, and reacting. Yeah. I don't do that in Dota 2.
Yeah.
Why?
No,
why the fuck don't I do that?
That's what I've been feeling with Spectre more than anything, is just because I'm able to react to information that I feel like I know I'm not great, but I feel like I've done decently as a support, paying attention to what's going on in the rest of the map. I feel like as far as other 2Kers go, I'm a little bit better about getting a rotation where I need to go, doing that kind of shit.
It's easy to rotate when you press F.
Yeah.
Or when you press Alt.
Sure.
On Spectre, but
yeah.
No, yeah.
But
I understand what you're saying.
But because it's so easy, it allows me to take advantage of that so much more, and it's been so much more rewarding that I find myself doing it more. And on the games where I'm not playing Spectre,
you want to rotate.
Well, I feel the urge to check the rest of the map, and that's been
to just box somebody. Just box somebody.
More valuable.
You don't have to like click on them. You don't even have to spend the time to click on them. Just box them real quick. And by boxing, like clicking and holding, and then swiping down, right? Like everybody's had a Windows machine where you make the box and you're bored, and you're making the box on your desktop background. You're making another box, and you make a rectangle. You know what I mean? Just do that, and just say drums jug. And why? Sure. Oh, that's not good anymore. Drums don't give agi. Drums aren't for agi anymore. That's actually kind of bad. I can take advantage of that. He's gonna have a little more health, but that means he doesn't have a Yasha. He's slower. I can definitely chase him on Spectre. You know what I mean? That type thing. Like if I were able to just think that way inside the fucking game,
right? Well,
you know what I mean?
Some of the best shit that he was saying to the 2K Spectre was, you know, like with his last hitting, right? And I think it kind of applies to this situation as well. Is he was missing last hits when he was all alone, and
he's like, you shouldn't ever do that.
You should never miss a last
He's like,
hit.
go into a bot match and just do it for even 2 hours.
Right, and
you'll be amazed at what you see.
Yeah, well, and even beyond that, like I really do feel like it doesn't even really take that as much as it takes playing just a few games with the fucking hero to get the feel for it, and not being a spaz.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean, like not being
doing
a spaz.
Well,
I can hit him once right now, and it's like, just leave him the fuck alone. Just get a last hit.
Left click stop. Left click stop. Left click stop. Left click stop. But fuck.
Yeah, like, you don't gotta be a spaz.
You're putting so much of your energy and your time and your thought into something where you can be looking around and then, oh, it's getting low. I'll wait. I'll keep my camera here for 5 seconds. Okay, blink. Now look around. Okay,
well, and even better is like, even better is looking at it and going, okay, it's about 5 seconds till the next last hit. Click on the next guy up. Click on the guy in my lane. What's his information? Come back, get the last hit. Now I know what that guy's got. 5 seconds before the next last hit.
Doing that
go up and check top lane.
Undoubtedly make you a 3K player.
Yeah.
You have, like, you don't even have to have good mechanics. I mean, you really don't.
I mean, you know, it helps. It's good to have.
Okay.
I think you do.
Fro got 3K.
Yeah, I know.
And he did that by playing Warlock.
Sure.
With a group of people.
Sure.
It was party MMR.
Yeah.
Where he played Warlock so many times that he knew that you drop golems, or you fatal bonds, you drop golems, you upheaval. Or back in the day, that's how you did it, and that's
sure.
And what I think you took preference on fatal bonds. You max fatal bonds, and then you would have the upheaval slow. It wasn't great, but it was still good. Yeah, I don't really like that build. And he just got good at it. You know what I mean? Sure. And he was okay with just playing Warlock to 3K with these group of douchebags.
I don't want to just play one hero. When I say I'm going to spam Spectre, what I mean is there are 5 roles.
When
in the
Spectre's
team.
good, you're going to pick it.
Right. I'm going to pick...
When your team needs a safe lane carry and Spectre works,
when my team needs a safe lane carry, I now have some early game, some mid game, some late game. When my team needs an offlaner, I've got 3 or 4 good offlane choices. When my team needs a mid, I got a greedy mid.
I've been playing a lot of Void. Mids. And by a lot, like, I played like 3 games recently of Void.
And as far as supports, like, I'll play whatever fucking support at this point. But that, and I'm not going to be afraid to play support. I'm just going to, as shitty as it is,
take it as a loss if you lose.
Yep.
Because you needed a support on the team, and your carries didn't carry.
It sucks.
Your carries did the Spazoid last hitting,
sure,
which I definitely do. I mean, you watch me like play a Sven game. I stream it all the time. I'll make sure I stream some Sven games tomorrow. I guarantee you, my camera. Well, maybe it'll change because I'm like planting this idea in my mind. But
sure,
before my camera is looking at those creeps the entire time. Even if there's an enemy in my field of vision, I'm not clicking on that enemy. I am. Stop, left stop, left stop, left stop, left stop, left click stop, left click stop, left click stop. That's useless. Like, I'm just swinging my sword back and forth until I let it go.
Get
you
some
know
information.
What I mean? Yeah. I get something out of your time. You know what I mean? Get something, because you actually have 3 resources. That's what Purge said. You have time, you have gold, and you have experience.
Yeah.
And that is there. If you break it down far enough, that is all there is.
Well,
there
then,
are 3
then
things.
He said it's a cycle. To turn into kills, to turn into farm, to turn into more gold, to turn into more experience.
Yeah, and he goes on this, like, he's
to better use.
I like his time. Like a very I've always liked the way Purge talks, and some people are like, he's just so monotone.
Is his big thing.
He's just calm. I feel like I take it as calm is the way he is. I've met people like him. I think Harry is a lot like Purge.
Yeah.
Harry isn't like the type of dude that's going to get up there and be ridiculous like I am. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He's not going to be a super loud guy. He's not going to be
stressed or super.
Yeah, he's just kind of, hey, how's it going? Yeah, nothing's new, really. It's kind of like this and it's kind of like that, and that's how it is, Yeah. And he just
always
reminds
pull out, is what Purge was. There's somebody out there, I can't remember. I'll find the video and tweet about it later. Where he you can tell that he's laughing to himself because he realizes how sexual everything that he, like the last minute and a half of the speech that he's giving has sounded, because you always pull out. You have to pull out so that they don't get in, anyway, it's fucking hilarious. Somebody just needs to,
and he just
somebody needs to put it to the wrong.
He probably just like grins
image.
For 3 seconds and then goes back to his normal self.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's how it goes.
It's a great moment.
But I think that's an admirable quality in somebody to not be so swayed by your emotions. Like that's somebody that is more logos than ethos. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or pathos. Isn't what logos is logic, ethos is ethics, isn't it?
Yes.
And then pathos is like your emotion.
Ethos is also ethos is
I just took a test on this too.
is like authority.
I aced it. I know logos because logic.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds kind of like logic.
Sure.
But he's very logos is what I'm trying to get at. He's very logical. Even when meeting Purge, like it's...
pathos is emotional.
Yeah,
Logos is logical.
And
ethos has to do more with like authority.
Yeah.
Ethics, I get.
And I met Purge...
It's authority.
I met Purge in New York, and I was like, oh my God, like, you taught me how to play so many heroes. And he's like...
Cool.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, you're one of the 213,000.
Yeah, he always just does his job.
And it wasn't like he was egocentric or anything. It was just that, like, so me meeting you is going to further anything how? You know what I mean? Like a very logical mindset, which I don't blame him for that. It's like,
sure.
What does a fan, like, I don't what are you going to say something that means something to me? Is it about lunch? Are we gonna eat? Are we gonna get lunch? Is that
no? You also were hitting him up right before he was about to go on
and talk to a whole Twitch staff or something like that about how to properly market yourself or something
with Dota. Anyway,
he was
there
I didn't
to give
take
advertisers an education in Dota. He was teaching suits how to play Dota.
Yeah,
or the basics of Dota. All right,
that's right.
All right, we're running along. We're running along in the
no, but I didn't want that to. Yeah. Oh, remember that's and I'm the one that did the Golden Star thing.
Yeah,
although he blamed it on you.
Oh, really?
He said, "Fuck you, Cyphus," because apparently he'd think I'd never do a GIF. Yeah. It's the first GIF I've ever done, but it was a GIF of a star.
Tina. Yeah, Tina
and a star.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I know.
Speaking of the Twitter, somebody sent.
No, but I wanted to let me finish. Purge is not an asshole by any means. He's just he is exactly as you'd expect. Meeting him, like if you go up to Purge, he's going to talk like he talks. He's going to act like he acts, and that is an admirable fucking quality.
Yeah,
even in a press room where he could have been not who he portrays himself to be. But he's not portraying anything.
In a press room.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Hey,
I don't know him at all.
Your point is super valid, but
he's
I'm
a cool guy, and
anyway.
I like his videos.
I think it was Lady Arabelle. She's the grad student. She has been transcribing the episodes like old.
I know her
episodes.
first and last name. I'm not going to say it. I know it's CM.
Okay. So
what would be her first and last initials?
She sent us a tweet.
She's awesome.
She's not even going to hear this because she's so far behind.
It's kind of like a time continuum. Yeah. It's really weird. She is living in probably early 2015.
Yeah,
like January of 2015 is where she is right now.
And she's catching up. And I feel so bad for her because it took her a long time to get to like where she was. And then the content ramped up. So it's going to take a lot longer for her to catch up.
She may never will until this is over.
May not.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like we're all dead. And she's just like, she takes some serum that lives forever, and she runs out of .p episodes on like year 150.
Yeah, sure.
And she walks through a lonely life, like the story in Lord of the Rings about the elf lady that's marrying Aragorn, and all that's left is death in your life. You know what I mean? Because after where this is going, it should definitely be stopped by flight control.
Grandpa Roland's tangents. This has been another edition of
this is another edition of Loose Correlation.
She sent us a tweet of this old lady. I want to say her name is Grandma Shirley.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't get it. I didn't like.
I had to know. I was curious why we got tagged.
Yeah, I didn't know why we got tagged.
Here's why we got tagged in it, because it's so brilliant. People like old people. All right, old people, they're adorable, and this old lady
depends. My grandma was in a nursing home, and it was scary to go see her because there were old ladies.
This old lady is not that
kid. Get him! Like it's youth. Grab it.
I'm not even gonna call her an old lady because that feels derogatory. She markets herself. Everybody who subscribes to her YouTube channel, they're just her YouTube grandchildren.
That's such a good marketing.
And do you know what she does for her YouTube grandchildren? She learns to play video games. And she plays Skyrim. And she plays a lot of Skyrim. And she has a Khajiit character. And people send in like photo albums of her with her Khajiit characters. And she started learning how to play Ark. And she's got to go back to the fire because it's really cold outside, I guess. And she's learned. She's playing video games. She's playing complex video games.
Oh my god!
And
don't you want to give her like a hug, like you'd hug your grandma?
She's super cool. Dude.
I don't even know who she is, and she sounds awesome. I bet your grandma would do that. Cool. Oh no, yeah, your grandma. Like, what are you doing again with that video game pod blog?
It's the pod blog.
The video game pod blog.
It's the pod blog. It's either the pod blog or the blog.
Oh, a blog. So,
but I mean,
is that
she's
where
only like 10 years behind us?
Yeah.
In 10 years, she's gonna get it, dude.
Yeah, I know. Blog is about
So that's why we were tagged in that tweet. It's super entertaining.
That's awesome.
So if folks want to see it,
I want to be one of her grandchildren.
Yeah, it looks like a great time.
You can never have enough grandmas in your life.
I completely agree.
You know what I mean? Wow, that's such. Brilliant
it's such a great idea.
A brilliant lady.
Right. It's a great idea. I was like, man.
A brilliant elderly grandma.
So I might try to get her on Let There Be Geeks. That's going to be my goal.
Yes.
I would love to interview her.
She can definitely work out Skype and figure all that stuff out. We can help her.
100%. Yeah.
And then we can be her I want to be on that show.
Okay. I thought about doing it here on .p, but she plays Skyrim and she plays and she's playing
Okay,
art.
Well, if we do that, we'll let people know. All right, cut us loose.
Okay, if you guys want to find us, we are at defenseofthepatients.com. That's our website. There are 2 important things we need you to do at the website that don't cost you money and help .p. The first one is there's a survey at the top right. If you go take it, I've been saying it takes less than 5 minutes. It takes 30 seconds. And
we don't need it doesn't give us your email. It doesn't give anybody your email. It's just to verify that you're a person. I've seen a lot of people in Discord where it's like, I'm okay with every question but the email. Why do they need my email? You don't get an email. It doesn't email you back. It never will. I promise you. It's just to verify your existence.
They don't want me and Roland going in and doing 250.
I already have done 250. I already have done 250.
Yeah. They don't want us doing that, which I realize it's really stupid. Don't tell them. But obviously, we could go create 250 fake email addresses and do it if we wanted.
But they'd all ping to the same server,
right? Yeah, I guess.
And if they all ping to the same server, which is probably somewhere in San Francisco, no, you'd have to drive around America.
Okay,
because like when I Twitch stream, it goes to San Francisco.
Sure.
So I'm pinging to San Francisco every single time.
Regardless. If we could,
I'm sure that's how those work as well.
If everybody who listened to the Monday episode took 30 seconds to go to defenseofthepatients.com and fill that survey out, it would help us tremendously. The other thing you can do if you don't want to spend any money in help.p, go through the Amazon banner. It's there on the website. Click through. Whatever you're going to buy at Amazon, if you just do it through .p first, they give us a cut of it. They don't charge any extra. Follow us on Twitter at .p_show. We're on Facebook. All your favorite social media platforms, we've probably got some sort of presence on. defenseofthepatients@gmail.com.
Not Instagram.
What kind of Instagram?
Oh yeah, Audrey runs
Evan
Instagram.
Yeah.
My wife does the shit. My wife does the Instagram. I'm sorry. Shit.
It's mostly
it's mostly cats. Yeah, it's mostly cats and probably her pregnant belly. She walks, dude. She's just embraced it, dude. She walks around like Randy from Trailer Park Boys. It's just her and her belly, dude. Just fucking out all the time. Like she doesn't need maternity clothes because she only wears like a sports bra on her belly walking around, dude. Oh, it's a big belly too. I like to slap the belly, dude.
All right.
I like to slap the belly.
I almost got us out of the show without this.
Not hard.
I was so close.
I like to slap that baby, dude. I like to slap the belly, dude. Oh man, it's cool, dude. And I went in for the 28 week. Did I tell you about that? Have you seen my child's face?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh my god. It got my eyes. Poor thing. I was hoping that would.
I don't think you can tell.
Yes, you can. Do you want to see it?
I did see it.
No, do you want to see the fucking roll I have inside? It has my eyes. It has buggy eyes.
They all have buggy eyes.
No.
Infants look so creepy.
These are my eyes.
Remember my nephew for that photo I snapped of him on day 1 where he looks like an alien child? And he turned out to be a super cute kid.
Yeah, he did.
Pretty quick.
But
the first few days,
was definitely ugly.
He was as ugly as they get.
Yeah, he was definitely. But he is.
I'm sorry.
But then he turned into
Dustin,
like.
If you're listening.
No, Dustin wouldn't care. Dustin would agree. And Dustin knows how much I love Bo. Bo is like the coolest kid in the world. He's curious about all sorts of cool things. Like he's curious about the right things. He's like big into like weather now. Like what a cool thing for a kid to get into. Like weather of all things. I don't like. And they're embracing it too, which I love. Like some parents would be like, "No, you're going to play piano. The weather doesn't mean anything."
Like you will with Charles.
Yeah, like my kid will never get that opportunity.
Like we're the future, Charles, not them.
We are the future, Charles, not them.
Because I'm just going to have Magneto quotes. All right, I'm not the Magneto to your kid's Charles.
I don't like Charlie. I don't like Charlie.
I'm going to call him Charlie.
I'm gonna
all the time.
I'm going to call him Charles.
I'm going to call him Charlie.
And it's going to be Charles. Will you please come here?
Oh my God, that'll last 5 minutes.
Charles.
Because you'll hear me calling him Charlie.
Charles, don't touch the plug, Charles. Charles, come here, Charles. And it'll always end with his end with his name. No. Charles, you need to eat breakfast, Charles. Everything
I'm
will
either calling him Charlie or Chucky.
Don't you think that's a good... What if the kid was addressed always with his name at the start of a sentence and at the end of a sentence?
That sounds terrible.
Charles, you need to go to the whiteboard, Charles.
I don't want to see what that kid turns out to be.
Charles, you need to go to school for the first day, Charles. Charles, it's school time, Charles.
With a complex.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
That kid's going to be fucking fine. That kid is seriously going to be like the...
But only because he has sane people calling him Charlie.
And his dad, it's like, I don't know why, but I don't want to break it to him that he says my name twice in every sentence, but it's, Charles, eat your breakfast, Charles. Charles, get me the keys, Charles.
That'll be more about your mental illness than his.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to have a baby, like, by the time we have 5 more Monday episodes, likely I will have a child. 5 to 8
September.
It's coming in November.
We got 4.
It's not December 4th anymore, dog.
Really?
No,
so like late. No, but it can't be.
It's gonna be like mid-November. It's a big. They're like, wow. The baby has already dropped. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's like I understand.
I took human anatomy.
I understand that, like, to all you guys, you're like, wow. But when you become a father, that you want to be a father, I guess I'll put that addendum on there too, that you meant to have a child. It's wildly interesting to go to these things and ask the doctor, like, so bicep's going to be about 18 inches round, right? 18 to 20 inches.
You would be you're the last person I'd want in there.
I called him today.
I would respectfully decline to be a doctor.
We're good buds, dude. Me and Brian. His name's Brian. I call him Doc.
No.
It's like, Doc, how's my child doing, Doc?
That's Dr. Brian.
And now I see him. No, he's cool. Oh. And every 2 weeks we see him now. So every 2 weeks I get to bug this guy and embarrass my wife. It's a great time. And I get him laughing sometimes. Most of the time he ignores me, but sometimes he laughs. I'm like, what if he didn't drop? What if we're looking at it upside down?
Defensive Patience is also on iTunes. We're also on Google Play. I'm going to close the show out despite this.
It's like, how do we know the perspective at which we're looking at him?
That's another free way to help the show. It's a great way to help the show.
Yeah. All right, just close this.
.ptv on Twitch. .ptv1 on
How
YouTube.
Long? Hour and 16.
Yeah,
that's
not bad. That's not terrible. It's
not too long.
It's like,
let's keep talking. You know what a breach is?
No. Yes. I don't want to know. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, it's a crazy thing. I didn't know about it.
No, I care. The Wednesday in-houses. Check those out. We love those with Grudy himself. You guys heard him last Monday. The Discord is now discord.gg/DOTP.
We need to get him on Red Bull, dude.
Is that right? DOTP?
Grudy needs some Red Bull. Grudy needs to, like, wake up sometimes, dude.
Try DOTP.
And just all you gotta do, you get syringes and you say they're for your dog, and then you just take a little bit of Red Bull. You can use, I only go through an 8.4 fluid ounces intravenously once a day now.
Yeah.
Because when you smack it, when you smack it in, when it's part of your fucking veins, and you have to drain 8.4 ounces of blood to fit the 8.4 ounces of Red Bull in.
We also have a subreddit run by Jay Gucci.
I have been drinking Red Bull for 2 years now.
Yes. Oh, I know.
Like, very heavily.
Yeah.
I wonder when I'll die. You know what I mean? Like, that's something.
Maybe the show.
I think this show might still be running. Yeah. Hopefully I can make enough money off this escape room thing to leave Charles a good sum of money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. He deserves that, yeah. Charles. Charles, you're rich, Charles.
I'll call Charlie after to be like, your dad always wanted you to be Charlie.
Your dad never liked the name Charles.
He said if you be so kind to go as Chucky, he would really appreciate that.
I would be okay with Chuck. I would be okay
Not
with
Chucky,
Chuck.
though.
Chucky? Are you fucking...
Oh, I'm going to call him Chucky.
No, I will correct little kids if they call my... Oh, me and Chucky are friends.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not Chucky. Friends. You're not friends with Chucky, you little shit. You're friends with Charlie or Charles, okay?
So Charlie's okay. See, I knew
I'm better than Chucky.
Hey, that's where I go next.
Sorry if anybody out there's named Chucky. I mean, your parents suck. That's the problem. Not you. It's not... The problem does not lie with you. It lies with your parents.
Yeah, fair enough.
Chucky.
Yeah.
I'm going to up Chucky that name. That wasn't. See, those are the types of jokes. Those are the types of jokes.
All the plugs. I don't even know that we have any more plugs to do.
Well, your "This is for me," saying for who, saying for goodbye.
Me, saying for who, saying goodbye.
Is that how you're gonna end it?
No. Okay, until next time. This is Cyphus and Roland saying good luck.